Hey Joe, my name is Christina. I told you I'd get you this video over with some free tips on SEO services and how to get your company to rank above your competition. So we're going to go over three things today: content, citations, and backlinks. Jumping right into it, currently looking at your front page, does look like you do have quite a bit of content. Content has to do with the words that are on the page, as well as pictures and how they're saved. The one thing though is that you want it to have some of the keywords built into it, so things that people are going to search whenever they're looking for your services. And with content, the average site needs 1,000 to 1,500 words in order to be optimized with Google, and you're probably sitting at about 300. So you definitely want to make sure that you increase the amount of content on your front page to include things that people are specifically searching for when looking for your services, like HVAC in Webster, Massachusetts. That would be a search that you would want to have, or plumber, Webster, Massachusetts. You want to make sure that those are built into your homepage. So when I looked up your competition, it looks like when you look up HVAC contractor in Webster, Massachusetts, where you're located, which seemed like, I think it was a 16,000 approximately population. So there's not a lot of people there. It's not a real big town. So currently it's showing about 0 searches a month are searching for a Webster, Massachusetts HVAC contractor. This is probably the same for the plumbers. And it doesn't mean that nobody searches this, it just means that it's not enough to really show up here with any amount of consistency. So it could be anywhere from 0 to 10 usually is what that means when it says 0. So you are at the top for Webster, Massachusetts, which is great. You're at the top up here, and then down here you're number 4. And so I wanted to show you your competition, McDonald HVAC. I'm sorry, it's Gervais Plumbing that's in the number 1 spot currently. And when you look at this, their content, they don't have much more content than you. It's really compacted, but it's about the same. So content, just by you beating them content-wise, could bring you above them, but I'm going to show you why else they're ranking above you here in just a second. So what I did do was look up another big town that's near you, like something that you probably would be willing to drive to, and it looks like about 20 minutes away, you have Worcester, Massachusetts. So when you do this search, Worcester, Massachusetts HVAC, volume is about 170 people a month. So by not being at the top of this Google page and the ranking, you're missing out on 170 potential customers. And sometimes people search, like maybe they live in one of these smaller towns around there, but they know that this is where some of the high-end HVAC people are, so they might think that they need to search for the bigger town, just like I live close to Kansas City, and the same thing, a lot of people don't search for my specific town, they just search Kansas City, because they know that that's where most businesses are going to do their advertising. So, 170 potential customers you're missing out on. I did pull up the number 1 spot, and it's McDonald HVAC, and again, they don't have a whole lot more content, but you'll see that they definitely have more than what you have. They're probably sitting at about 700 words. But right here, something that you don't have on your page is specifically the cities they service. So this is how it's going to recognize multiple cities in the area. Or people usually, what I would recommend is making an actual locations page and having it listed out there. Okay, the next thing that I want to talk about is what the next visible section is here, is called the Google Map Pack. This is where it lists your business name, phone number, and address. And you can actually be ranked up at the top of here without being necessarily number 1 down here. You are ranked for the top of it for Webster, but if you wanted to get ranked to the top of this, what you want to do is get citations. And in order to get citations, you submit your information, your business name, address, and phone number into directories like Yellow Pages, Yelp, CityStar, etc. So this is something that you might already be familiar with because your business is already doing it. I went ahead and plugged you in, and you're currently sitting at 58 citations, which is why you're at the top of Webster. So good job on that. But what you probably want to work on is getting more customers from some of those surrounding cities. So I looked up Worcester, and the top, see here, the number 1 spot, HVAC experts, they only have 18 citations. So just by listing the fact that you would do business out at Worcester, you have 58 citations already, you would bump up above these guys on the map pack pretty quick. So that brings in other people, because sometimes people use the map pack to look up services that they're going for, especially since you have the reviews right here. So this tool that I just showed you is called whitespark.ca. It costs about $30 to $70 a month, but it's something you can go out and get yourself to see a local citation finder. And this is where I saw that you have 58 citations. But if you do wind up, if somebody ever winds up beating you out on the map pack, you can go in and actually click on them and see where they're listed and see if they have any that you're not listed at. So it's a really good side-by-side comparison of what you're doing. Great tool. All right, the last thing that we're going to talk about are backlinks. We call this link juice. Basically, it works like site A points to site B. Site A is the link juice, which gives site B more authority in Google's eyes. It's like a popularity contest. So the more sites you have linking to you, the more popular you're going to be, the higher you're going to be ranked on a Google search. That being said, though, you want to make sure that it is relative sites. So link juice is more effective if it has to do with whatever business that you do. For instance, a blog post about maybe a plumbing job that you do, or a blog post about like a specific brand that you like, that is going to be more relevant if it has to do with HVAC or plumbing or whatever the services that you provide. That's going to bring back more power to your site than, say, a blog post about pizza, because you don't sling pizzas for a living. So you definitely want to make sure that they're relative sites. So currently, I pulled up another tool that I use called Ahrefs, ahrefs.com. This is a little more expensive. It's about $100 to $120 a month, again, depending on what plan you choose, but it really gives a good breakdown of your website. And what I did notice here is you've got 89 domains with 1.54 thousand backlinks, which is probably why you're up at the top towards, I think you're number 4 for Webster. When you look at Worcester, the #1 spot in the organic after you get through these directories is McDonald HVAC. And when you pull them up, they're only sitting at 41 domains with 412 backlinks. So definitely beatable, just again by updating your content to include this city as well as other cities in your area. Now, you're probably wondering why Gervais system is higher than you when you specifically search Webster, why they're in the #1 spot. And if you look here, you see why. They have 186 domains with 155,000 backlinks compared to the 1.54 thousand backlinks that you currently have. So that's why they're in the #1 spot, even though their content's not great. And one other thing that I wanted to show you on this is when I talked about the relevancy of backlinks, when I pulled up which backlinks that you have, over 1,000 of your backlinks are just coming from this smartshopperad.com. So if that doesn't have, I mean, this is a shopping one, but this doesn't specifically, it's kind of like a directory. So most of your links are coming from this one spot. It doesn't have a lot of power coming to it, versus like right here where you've actually got a blog, you've got 8 links coming from that. So this is going to be more relevant and it's going to bring you more power overall. So definitely a tool that I recommend going out and getting. In closing, I know this video is a little longer than normal. It's because I wanted to show you those 2 different Google searches, and then I went a little bit more depth with your site because you have a lot more going on. So in closing, we talked about content, making sure that you get up to that 1,000 to 1,500 words on your homepage. Make sure that it has good, relevant, strong material specific to keywords that people might search in the area when looking for your services. And then citations getting listed. Looks like you might already have enough citations. You might not necessarily need more because nobody else in your area has more than what you do. So it's just getting listed on those different areas that's going to help you out. And then link juice, making sure that you're adding links that are specific to your niche. And one more thing I want to add on that is you don't want to do it super quick. This does not look natural. If you think about a normal business, the normal business isn't going to all of a sudden jump from 0 links to 200 links in less than a month. Okay, so this gradual increase right here, this is more natural. So you definitely don't want to do like all of a sudden go out and get 200 links, because this can do what Google calls sandbox you, where they drop you to a bottom of a ranking even if your content is great and your backlinks are great and everything checks off all the things that I just said. If you make it look unnatural, Google will penalize you. So I hope this video helps. I'm sorry that it was so long. I do try to keep them closer to the 5-minute mark. If you have any questions, absolutely reach out to me. I'd love to answer any of them. Again, my name is Christina, and I'm with Casey Phoenix SEO, and you can call me at 816-323-4100. Thanks for watching my video.